domain of education, there are three important things. To begin with, in the old traditional educational system, it was considered one-to-one. That is, there's a teacher and there's a student, someone who is teaching, someone who is being taught. But this bipolar social system, uh, as that time passed, they thought, no, there's another important factor in that, and that is that there's a teacher, there's a student, and another very important thing is curriculum. But anyhow, whatever this educational system was there, that educational system, like any other system, had to be managed, had to be organized, so that it could work efficiently. So education is a social process and provisions of series of learning experience for the students to get knowledge, values, attitudes, skills, with ultimate aim of giving them making them productive members of the society. What it has meant is that the education, as I said, has got three domains. One is that it is a cognitive domain. The second is affective domain, and the third is psychomotor domain. So, in a domain of education, in this cognitive domain, we pass on knowledge. In affective domain, we try to groom the students by inculcating in them values and attitudes. And in psychomotor domain, we try to give them skills which are required for them. For managing all this education system, since ages, uh, some sort of management is required. So, educational management is the process of planning, organizing, directing, leading, and controlling the resources of the organization to organize the activity. How well it is done depends mainly on the organizational leadership. So this is where we are starting off that in system of education, well, like any other system, we need an organization. So for any organization to do well and work efficiently, we require managers. For management, we require managers. And the managers, if they have got leadership qualities, which we are going to discuss in the soon, if they had leadership qualities, their organization would work efficiently. This is the sort of starting point we have. And as I said, we need an organization which is well organized, which is well managed, which is headed by persons with leadership qualities. So the very basic thing is what is an organization? An organization is a combination of human efforts and materials management brought together in a systematic and effective correlation to accomplish the desired goals. Well, to run any organization, we at least require three things. And three things for some young student, I would tell him that those three things, if you want to remember them, they start with the letter M. Three M's, that is men, material, money. Men, material, money. By men, we mean we need certain manpower. In educational context, we'll say teaching staff plus non-teaching staff. Material. When we talk of material, we mean some infrastructure like building, where there's some furniture, some equipment, some other things required, like laboratories, some vehicles required for transportation. So manpower, we have got infrastructure to look after and the equipment to look after, and then there is some money at our disposal that we have got certain budget at hand. These are different resources which are at the disposal of any organization. And how best they manage them, how scientifically they manage them, how systematically they manage them, how effective correlation they develop to attain their desired goals or targets. That is what an organization is all about. Now, a little more about organization, because the very title, as I said, is organizational leadership. First, we'll talk about organization, then we'll talk about the management, and then we'll bring in leadership there, and then the comparison or interaction between manager and the leader. So, an organized group of people with a particular purpose, such as business or government department, a social unit of people that is structured and managed to meet need to pursue a collective goal. All organizations have a management structure that is people with different positions with various responsibilities that determines the relationship between the different activities and the members, and the sub divides and assigns roles, responsibility. These lines I've taken it from your study guide. So all organizations have a management structure. This we have already got through, and all organizations are open system and they affect and are affected by the environment. That line, you must, that word you might be very familiar. That is SWOT, SWOT, SWOT. All those who have background of administration or management, they are very well aware of this word, that SWOT. So they carry out a SWOT analysis. Those organization, but I repeat it for you. S stands for strength, W stands for weakness, O stands for opportunities, and T stands for threats. So what these organizations are doing, they are frequently carrying on SWOT analysis in order to optimize their efficiency, in order to make them their organization effective. Now, after talking about general organization, we move on to our special field, and that field is education. So let's talk about school organization. What are school organization about? The school organization is about actual organization of resources. Resources we have already talked about. Men, material, money. That is human resources. That is monetary resources. That is all. So that is very much relevant in the educational context as well. It refers to how schools arrange the resources of time, of space, of personnel. Now, like any organization, these schools have their teachers and non-teaching staff. The school might be having a building which is maybe hired building. In building, there might be classes, there might be laboratories for outdoor activities, playgrounds. Then they might have a mission to perform. Every institution is of certain level, primary level, secondary level, higher education. or any institution, maybe a professional institution like medical college, like engineering college, and they are tasked that within a given period, and that given period may be a year, 4 years, 5 years, that within this period they have to attain certain goals, certain targets that may be, say, primary school. They have to give. There is a given curriculum. That given curriculum of different levels that is to be completed. So, these in school organizations, as I said in the very beginning, the educational institutions, they have tasks to perform, and that task is that they have to bring up the academic levels of the students. They have to groom their students, make them better citizens, and they have to give them skills which are required, for which they are organizing all those teaching. Now, management, I've given two definitions here from different scholars. According to the first one, management is the art of getting things done through and with people in formally organized groups. That's one definition. The second is management is a multi-purpose organ that manages business and manages managers and manages workers and work. Now, definitions, as we all know, when we take definitions from different scholars may be talking of the same thing, but their choice of words would indicate us which part they are emphasizing more. So in the first definition, we find that this thinker or scholar, Coates, he is calling management as an art of getting things done by coordinating different manpower which is at our disposal. So his emphasis was on that. But the second definition, we find that probably the author or the thinker has some big organization in mind where he's talking about a setup where there are various ladders of managers. Higher level manager, second level manager, third level manager, and for taking some educational institution in mind. My institution, for instance, which I said I was the principal, and last time I left it, I was the founder principal of that. Now that was a huge institution. It was one of the largest institution in Hindi Islamabad. Largest in the sense that it was spread on 34 acres of land, had had was built or state of art building built by NLC, National Logistics Cell. They are organization of engineers which carry out different works in Pakistan. That was built by them with the investment of about 96 crore rupees. Huge institution in the sense that that was meant for about 5,000 students. Presently, there we have got about 4,500 students. Then there are about 500 teachers there working. So, what is I trying to aim at? Such a huge institution which you have, then you have to organize the staff. There's a the classes are from preschool up to HSSC level, and side by side we have got a subsection of A level, O level. So each class having about 5 to 7 sections. I would say that then you have to separate them. You say this is girls section, this is boys section. This is the top manager obviously is the principal. The second ladder, vice principals, girls section, vice principal, boys section. Then down below, if you come down, then you have got five section heads. Section head primary preschool, section head primary school, section head middle school, section head higher school, section head A level, O level stream. So each vice principal having five section heads. So that second definition is aiming at that manager managing managers, manager managing managers. So, and managers managing workers. So, the headmistresses are the section heads, what we call them. They have got their primary section, other section, and they have got their own staff to manage. So, educational management, obviously, if you think of a big institution, then it's a huge task. So, management, so seeing from that perspective is the process of planning, organizing, directing, controlling, and evaluating. We perform all these functions. And if you recall your days, you might have studied FOIL's functions of management. There were five functions which Mr. Foyle mentioned in management. Then later on, more functions were added, like keyword, post, carb was also invented to mention those seven functions. Then somebody told us there are 13 functions. Then even Foyle told us that there are 14 principles of management that we'll discuss later. But since this is a beginning, and as I told you, I'm starting off right from the scratch, assuming that we are starting from the alphabet. So management performs certain vital functions, and those vital functions like planning, organizing, directing, controlling, and evaluating. They are performed to achieve determined objects. And these functions ultimately aim at coordinating and bringing together in an efficient combination of human and material resources. And it is an art. Management is an art which aims at getting work done with the help of other people within the given budget and within the given deadline. That is a famous definition. And this is something you must be very familiar to management functions, that there's a planning, there's organizing, there's commanding, there's coordinating, and there's controlling. And we discuss each one of them. At least there would be one slide on every function of management. Planning. First important thing is planning. Planning is very important in all segments of our life. Even you as a housewife, you are running your domestic affairs, you need to plan. You have got certain income which is coming to you. You have got certain heads of expenditure on which you can spend that income. So you plan. If I am moving from Lahore to Karachi, again, I have to plan or what conveyance I'll get, how much money I should take along, what sort of clothing I should manage, and many other things. So planning is first thing which is required and done by management. So a plan is a predetermined step, what we are going to do. Detailed skills and program action related to the achievement of an objective. So if we ask some expert on that, and here are two experts, Hagman and Schwartz, they say planning selects among alternatives. I have to go from Lahore to Karachi. Should I go by my own personal car? Should I take public transport? Should I go by air? Should I go by rail? So different, we have alternatives in front. The planning, at planning stage, we have to choose that, then explore routes before travel begins, and identifies possible or probable outcomes or actions before the executive and his organization is committed to any. So planning phase is very important function. Second is organizing. I just mentioned before that in a short, in a small organization, say in a primary school, we have got 5 classes only. So if there's one section of each class, the issue is not much, right? Even one principal or headmaster may be taking care of those 5 classes with 5, 6 teachers, and some if a couple of this non-teaching staff. But if the institution is huge, that I mentioned just now, so organizing involves establishment of authority. Who is responsible to whom? Who is under me, under my, who has to work under my supervision? Who has to be answerable to me for their job? So organizing involves the establishment of authority relationship with provision of coordination between them, both vertically and horizontally. Again, my job is very easy when I'm talking to you. You know, there's a vertical relationship in the organization. There is a horizontal relationship in the organization. So vertical would be principal, vice principal, section head, teachers down below. Horizontal would be there are 5 sections, there are 5 section heads. They are mutually coordinating with one another. When your class is going to go for the physics lab, when my class is going to go for chemistry lab, when my boys are going to go for the auditorium. So organize, you have to set rules, regulations, and there should be a smooth flow of information, and there should be pinpointing, you should be pinpointing who is responsible for doing what and responsible to whom. So thus organizing is concerned with work, the people and authority relationships, aims at effective teamwork toward achievement of predetermined objectives, and it involves the assignment of tasks. Then third function is directing. Third function of management is directing. And what is directing? It is the art or process of influencing people so that they will strive willingly and enthusiastically towards the achievement of group goals. So to show the path, that is directing, and give guidance to complete the work. The principal as a manager, the vice principal as a manager. I'll keep on giving the examples from educational administration, educational management, and educational organization to make the things more clear. So somebody is telling that, well, these are the targets. You have to move on like this. If he goes around and observes classes being run, then the principal ideally should be, once upon a time, he should be a teacher. He should be a teacher once upon a time. So once he going on the round of the classes, he observes the teachers, being senior in the field, keeps on giving the feedback to them, keeps on telling them how the things should go. This is the ideal way of teaching language subjects. This is the ideal way of teaching the social sciences. This is the ideal way of teaching the science subjects. The strategy, the methodology, the techniques definitely vary from subject to subject and topic to topic. Another function of the management, especially the educational in the educational field, is that you while you move around, you keep on directing the teachers. Then after that is controlling. That is the fourth function of management, and controlling involves measuring and monitoring performance. Slightly different. In directing, you tell them do this, do that. This is the starting point. This is the finish point. Here you have to start. Here you have to reach. Whereas in controlling, you keep on observing whether they are moving in the right direction and performing at the level at which they are required. So we'll say that controlling involves measuring and monitoring performance, comparing results with the plan, and taking corrective action when required. Thus, controlling indicates how far the goals have been achieved and to the extent of deviation. If there's a deviation, if the performance is not according to the desired standards, then that too is to be told. The fifth function, important function of this management is evaluating. And it is the process of measuring and assessing the achievements of objectives. Now, while we are evaluating, we evaluate at regular intervals. One, we are while the process is on, in between we keep on assessing whether the targets are being achieved, and once the process is complete, that for instance the academic year is over, then we carry out summative evaluation. We carry out the assessment or evaluation of the whole year. Law. Why FC College Law? Why Lahore College for Women? Why Kinnaird College? Kyun? Why? There, there are about 23 universities in Islamabad, Pindi nowadays. Why Qaeda University? Why NUST? Why? So this why answers this. What is an organizational culture? This why answers this. What is organizational culture? It is like the personality of an organization. इस तरह किसी इंसान की पर्सनैलिटी होती है, दो भाई हैं उनकी आपस में पर्सनैलिटी अपनी अपनी पर्सनैलिटी होती है, इसी तरीके से अदारे होते हैं उनकी अपनी अपनी पर्सनैलिटी होती है. उस पर्सनैलिटी, व्हाट इज ए पर्सनैलिटी टू ह्यूमन बीइंग, पर्सनैलिटी सेम थिंग इज कल्चर टू एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. So imagine if organizations were people, some would be serious, some would laid back, some creative, others super organized. इसके ऊपर मैं बात करूंगा. मैं आपको तिश्ना नहीं छोड़ूंगा जो मैंने अभी बात की है, ये मुख्तलिफ कॉलेजेस स्कूल का कंपैरिजन, क्योंकि ये बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग जो है ना आपके लिए होगी वो डिस्कशन. Well, organizational culture is all about the set of shared values, beliefs, assumptions that guide the way an organization operates. It is like the invisible glue that holds everything together. आप किसी स्कूल या किसी कॉलेज के अंदर एंटर हो जाएं, अभी आप किसी बंदे को एक दफा भी नहीं मिले हो, बात नहीं किया आपने, अभी इंटरैक्ट नहीं किया है, अभी आप उसके स्कूल के अंदर एंटर हुए, अभी ऑफिस तक भी नहीं पहुंचे हो, उस स्कूल की एक क्लाइमेट है, वो जो आप वो जो है ना वो महसूस करें, बच्चे, children are moving from one class to another in a proper queue. If the teachers are crossing them, they are saying, Assalamu alaikum, sir, Assalamu alaikum, madam, Assalamu alaikum, sir. They are not running around like a herd of sheep. They are moving in an orderly fashion from one place to another. They are properly dressed. They are wearing neat, clean uniforms. They are they have got well combed. Their body language is very good. They do not give a look of scared type of children. They do not give the look of suppressed type of students. They give a look of intelligent, well-behaved, very confident students. You come up to the reception desk, there is somebody sitting there. Yes, madam. Yes, sir. जी किससे मिलने हैं? क्या प्रॉपर वेरिफिकेशन के बाद? ओके मैडम, अभी प्रिंसिपल साहब मीटिंग में है, अभी आपको मिला देती हैं, आप पानी पियेंगी, चाय पियेंगी, बैठ तशरीफ रखिए. These are few pleasantries which are in first few minutes you come across. That's how you come to know that the system is in place. So, well, organizational culture is all about the set of shared values. People are courteous. People are well behaved. They are greeting each other. They are not threatening. They are not trying to bully the senior students, not trying to bully the junior students. So they are very helpful. They are coordinating, cooperating. Things are moving so smoothly. There's no rush, no hurry. So Deal and Kennedy defines organizational culture as the way we do things around. ये कल्चर जो होता है ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल कल्चर के ऊपर यूनिट 8 में हम डिटेल में डिस्कस करेंगे, लेकिन यहाँ थोड़ी सी बातें जरूर करना पहले यूनिट में जरूरी है, इसलिए कि ये जो हम ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल लीडरशिप की बात कर रहे हैं, ये कल्चर डेवलप करता है वो जो है ना प्रिंसिपल से, ये फ्लो डाउन करता है फिर लोअर लेवल के मैनेजर्स, फिर उससे लोअर लेवल के मैनेजर. जस्ट टू गिव यू एन एग्जांपल, as I told you, I was the founder principal of that huge institution. Now, in the beginning, when we started enrollment of students and teachers came from different institutions. Students came from different institutions. And now, that was the most difficult task for me, I think, was to develop a culture. And the worst thing, which the thing which I hated the most in the first 2-3 months, which ultimately I was able to get that streamlined. Ultimately, I got it, was that, well, when they were in the students were in classes, they were being handled by the respective teachers and being handled well according to the instructions given to them. But the moment there was a bell of the break rang, अब ब्रेक हो गई है, वो जो दरमियान में आधा घंटे पौने घंटे की ब्रेक होती, the students who rush out of the classes like the chickens are taken out of their that dabba, and spreading through out the premises. And I told them, no, this is not it gives a very bad impression. So just telling you just one hint, that organizational culture is developed by the management, the managers, and then it is enforced, and then it follows by, you need not give them a punishment for every petty thing. No, for instance, culture. It is criminal. I think it is. There's no worse crime than a teacher missing the class. When the class is on and the teacher is sitting back in the staff room and not reaching in time to the class, that is not acceptable at all. So, कभी कभी ये होता है कि बंदा है गपशप लगा रहा है या चाय पी रहा है तो कहता है जिनसे इंसान है तो each time you put them on TikTok, no, it should not reach up to the level of the manager, a principal. No, never. The staff sitting in there, that is how the culture is developed. If there, now, if within 5 minutes the teacher doesn't reach the class, it is must for the class rep to come running to the staff room and remind the teacher. Well, the monitor comes running to the staff room and remind the teacher that madam आपकी class है. Well, that's it. Now, should you punish them? No. This is the culture. The staff sitting there tells आप तो जाए ना जरा क्लास लेके आए ना इस दौरान में हम जो है ना ये एक चिकन का ऑर्डर दे देते हैं कुक करें वो आपका जुर्माना है आप पे करेंगी आपने क्लास मिस भूली क्यों है क्लास वो उधर जो स्टाफ बैठा ये नहीं प्रिंसिपल खाएगा कि चिकन खाएगा नो and when the after 35 minutes the teacher comes चिकन या कोई भी चीज फॉर दैट मैटर कोई भी कैंटीन से कुछ मंगवा लो जी बिल मैडम पे करें आपका जुर्माना है कि आपने ये क्लास भूली क्यों हंसी हंसी में कोई गुस्से में नहीं नो मैडम ये तो हो गया आपका सो दिस इज हाउ यू डेवलप कल्चर within institutions. So organization culture is generally understood as all of the company's beliefs, values, and attitudes, and how these influence the behavior of the employees. Culture affects how people experience an organization. That is what it is like for a customer to buy from a company. This is, with the relationship to a business company, or that we can apply it in our whole setting. थोड़ा सा जो है ना कॉम्प्लेक्स होता जा रहा है मामला और इससे पहले मैं आगे बढ़ूं एनी क्वेश्चन जरूरी है एनी क्वेश्चन जी नाउ अ लीडर इज समवन in authority to lead others to accomplish a goal. Leader or manager में फर्क it's absolutely clear to us. Manager is someone who by appointment is supposed to carry on a task and he has got some subordinates under him. Now, a leader is someone in authority to lead others to accomplish goals. A leader needs to be able to motivate others to accomplish goals while at the same time encourage others to work towards their professional. Leader, as I said previously, is the one who may or may not have the authority to lead you. He may be a manager, I said. And manager who is a leader also is an excellent proposition. But it may be otherwise. You get out, you see some accident has taken place, and people get together. A person assumes the role of a leader because he ये करो वो करो ये उठाओ वो करो फोन करो इधर करो पकड़ो इसको पट्टी बांधो गाड़ी से निकालो and since and by his personality, by his knowledge, by his expertise, the others find that this man is knowledgeable also how to carry out a rescue operation, and this man is personally also involved and doing it, and he is really sympathetic and dedicated to the task. So they start following him. So a leader is the one whom people follow willingly because of some of his personal character traits. So, leadership is the art of motivating a group of people to act towards achieving a common goal, and the process of encouraging and helping others to work enthusiastically towards objectives. Alan Keith stated that leadership is ultimately about creating a way for people to contribute, making something extraordinary happen. I said that if you, as a manager, have some character traits, which we are going to discuss at length, this whole code is all about that. If we are started doing that, that means that that's something very good omen for the organization. So, in our society, we face many problems, conflict, and challenges. We seek guidance formally and informally. Organizations achieve their goals by providing effective leadership. And leaders give vision to their followers and align followers' thoughts with vision and translate vision into goals. And what is the scope of leadership? Creating and sustaining and competitive school. This is purely from a school organization point of view. Leadership purely from school point of view. Creating and sustaining a competitive school. What is the ultimate goal of a principal, oblique manager, oblique school leader? His principal job is to create a conducive environment, an environment in which teaching learning process takes on and carried on to the in a best possible way. That conducive, creating a conducive environment, empowering others to make significant decisions. It is not a one-man show. It is a teamwork. He has to get the work done, and he has to get the work done with the help of other people who willingly support him, who support him from the core of their heart, who are convinced that this man is good for the institution. This man is capable of handling the job where he's sitting is. This man is working in welfare of the whole institution, including the employees. So this man does not concentrate all his powers in himself. And monopolizes in the power. He dishes out, decentralizes the powers to the sub managers, lower level managers, and even to the grassroots workers. So providing instructional guidance. As I told you, gave you the example of teaching English poem. If he is professionally good, he would be able to give instructional guidance to the students, to the teachers, and developing and implementing strategic and school improvement plans. He is a visionary person. He does not give an impression to the teachers that, well, the one person who is sitting in that office of principal, he has no job except to gossip around with the guests who come, and he has no job except to have cups of teas, as many cups of teas, as many guests walk into his office, and whenever he gets tired, he takes up the stick and moves it through the corridors. While he's sitting alone in the office, gazing in the air, seeing the rooftop, seeing the ceiling, people should have confidence that this man is working. He is not gazing with blank eyes onto the ceiling. He must be thinking about the future plans of the institution. There's always room for the improvement, and he's thinking of some future plans to improve the institution. He's thinking of some future plan to improve our terms and conditions of the service. He's thinking about our welfare, welfare of the teachers, welfare of the students. And leadership's behavior is characterized by listening. He gives a patient hearing to everybody and counters that person with counter arguments, allows person to blow out and then absorb, then sharing experiences. Old man, white beard, gone through the different decades in the profession. He willingly shares his experience, uses examples and demonstrations. It's not that theoretically he keeps on consults a few books, makes a few slides, and theoretical. No, with each slide, with each theory, he gives it out the personal examples, the day-to-day examples to make things easier people to understand. Give teachers voice and strength, allows the teachers to come out with their problems and then address their grievances if any, solve their problems if he can, even if he has to go an extra yard, if even if he has to somebody comes up with the domestic problem which is none of his field, he can say this is none of my job. But remember, if the principal solves some domestic problem of some employee, that employee would come back at work more satisfied, more satisfied. Hence, indirectly improve the overall efficiency of the institution. I give you an example, if one day I'll explain this sometime. So, if some teacher walks into your office of the principal saying, "Sir, I'm facing separation with my husband," and tap tap tap, start weeping. Principal says, "No, this is not my issue, none of my issue. Go solve your problem at yourself." No, if he tries to solve that problem too, if possible, at least he tries his best to do that. Now, don't you think that teacher would come back more satisfied to the work than if she is hanging on the sword of separation? That's it. So, encouraging risk taking. When you put in new theories, when you put in new methodologies, when you come out with innovative type of techniques, you are taking risk. But risk taking at times is fruitful. Offering professional literature, help the teachers, but you can only help the teachers if you are yourself updated. If I do not know what is this PowerPoint slides, how do they work, what is this LMS, how can I log in? Now, I'm an old timer. First, I have to learn myself. Then I'll have to pass on. Well, this is how you get on to online workshop. This is how you go to search engines. This is how you find out improving teachers' practice. And then leaders. levels of leaders. I skip this slide to because I have to reach here. This is the last slide, two slides to follow before I finish. A difference between leaders and managers. Leaders advocate change and and are concerned with the people, beliefs, and gaining their commitments. Managers advocate stability and status quo. First difference. The leader is the one who's always looking for innovation, improvement. The manager takes a job, tries to maintain the status quo, let the things go on as they are going, keep a stability, no, nothing of the sort. So, second thing, leadership process involves developing a shared vision for organizing, motivating, and empowering people. The leadership does what? Process involves developing shared vision. He shares his vision with the subordinates, bring them together, convince them with the new ideas, and then implement those ideas with their help. So the management process involves planning and budgeting, organizing, staffing, and control. This is the routine work. He does the routine work without involving the low staff. Then leadership creates certainty and struggle for change. Now, this word it creates uncertainty may sound negative. No, it is not. Leadership creates uncertainty. That means that future is when you look into the future and tell them this is how the people are in the this world has turned into global village. People who are moving in that direction, and let's not lag behind. If we lag behind, then we'll be far behind the world. So the management it reduces uncertainty and stabilizes information. They, as I said in the beginning, they are status quo people. They want to maintain